We have foldables. A lot of foldables. And
Hot foldable summer.
Hot fold.
Foldables new. It's kind of popping.
hot
It's kinda
It is has been. No, I just like
not
that.
gonna
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the summer of foldables.
Oh, yeah.
That's 2022.
So I think we have the title for this episode.
yeah, there's the
Hot
episode.
foldable summer.
Foldable summer.
It's like Wawa's Hoagie Fest, but it's Foldy Fest.
Whoa. Oh, that's a title.
Thanks.
That's a title.
To make a logo for that.
Hold that title. Back pocket. Foldy Fest.
Foldy
Just
Fest.
keep that one.
Yeah.
There's no SEO on that one.
No, yeah, there's none.
But we have a OnePlus foldable and a Xiaomi foldable, and
Xiaomi.
I figure we might as well talk about them.
At the end of the Xiaomi.
You should explain why he because people are like, why did he just say it like that? At the end of the Xiaomi ad,
Yeah.
they just have this like chime. You know how everyone has a chime? Like Samsung has like, wait, hold on. Yeah, like it's the same chime every time. Like Xiaomi has a chime, but then
Yeah.
after the chime, it's just a generic voice saying Xiaomi.
It's AI.
Very powerful male narrator that
And
just goes, Xiaomi.
Yeah, and it's every time.
It's every time.
Just so you know, that's why I
pretty
said
funny.
it like that.
We should start ending
can have-
MKBHD videos like that. Just do MKBHD.
It's like a weird like audio stamp. Like, DJ Xiaomi.
What's up, guys? MKBHD here.
Where were we? Okay, so they're making a foldable.
Adam can play it.
They're making a foldable.
Yeah.
So the Xiaomi one is just like a little bit of a, I guess it's a teaser of like what it'll look like.
It's the Mix 3.
And I think the most interesting part about all of these is how each of these form factors is looking slightly different, like prioritizing different things.
Yeah.
Because at this point, we kind of have a whole new landscape of foldable devices. We have rumors about this OnePlus foldable being more like passport shaped but squared up.
If it is, I will be so happy.
Then we have, I'm going to pull out the Pixel Fold,
Yeah.
which is like passport shaped but more rounded on the sides.
Yeah.
We also have the tall, skinny candy bar that unfolds like the Samsung Fold. So there's a bunch of this is becoming like we're realizing we can
we
do
need
it better
foldable
now.
tier lists soon.
Honestly, I feel like
Candy bar,
Samsung.
whack.
If I was working at Samsung right now, I'd be thinking really hard about adjusting the shape or making a new phone with a passport shape.
Yeah. I
agree.
Because that seems to be. I mean, I just way prefer using that shape of a foldable.
If there was any company to make like two foldables, not including the flip, but two
Samsung.
hot dog, Samsung would
Yeah.
do it.
Easy. But the Xiaomi one, their thing is like it's going to be super thin.
Yeah.
And you open that phone and you're like, dang, each half of this is like way thinner than a normal phone, but you put it together and use it and it feels like the thickness of one normal phone.
The last foldable they made was like that. It was
Yep.
super
yeah.
thin.
Yep. Almost no crease on. There's another one too, which a lot of them are doing way better with the crease, basically, and they flatten it out. So it's like the Xiaomi one has quad cameras on the back. It seems like it's going to be an ultra high end flagship. The OnePlus one, there's some leaked specs potentially. It's got flagship specs as well: 4,800 milliamp hour battery, Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. Strong rear cameras, whatever that means.
I love that. Was my favorite leak spec. Strong rear cameras.
Strong.
Does it
Nice.
does the leak have the Hasselblad logo? Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So they still got to get their money's worth out of that.
Yeah.
A couple years
Why
left
add
on that
another camera
contract.
when you can put a Hasselblad logo there instead?
Yeah.
The flash is literally in this render from OnLeaks is literally off the camera bump, so they can put a Hasselblad logo
That's
where the
hilarious.
flash probably
Can I
should
ask
be.
you guys something?
Yeah. Sure.
Can I ask you guys something? What-
The water was the water brown.
do you use a flash ever on your phone when taking pictures?
No, but
And
I use
that's-
the flashlight.
I use the flashlight.
Okay, that's different. So there is
Still need
number
it.
one, do you use a flash for the camera?
No.
Number two, do you use
Night
a
mode.
flashlight for anything?
Yes.
The flashlight,
and then,
yes.
And then number three, do you think most other people actually do use the flash for
I think
photos?
if when people use the flash for photos, it's because they have auto flash on.
But they just leave it.
because they're
also-
morons.
well also
What you
also
trying to say
now-
here?
The default now is to have everyone has a night mode now.
Right.
And night mode with that kind of HDR generally like doesn't use the flash at all. So it has to be a very intentional decision for you to turn flash on now.
Yeah.
Let's hear from Ellis. He said he does use the flash.
I do use the flash.
For
Okay.
what?
I do not enjoy the look of photographs on my iPhone 12's long exposure night mode.
Yeah.
Just
fair.
a look.
Well, in a lot of situations, yeah. And I'm willing to trade off kind of spotty lighting, but also in my home studio, I have a big like rack like of gear against a wall, and it's really annoying to get behind it. And so I very often have to take my phone and reach over it and take a picture of the back of the rack.
Do that a lot.
And the flash really comes in handy there.
So in photos that you consider like taking to show other people, or like, because that's a photo you're just taking for the information at that point, right?
Yeah.
But like if you're gonna post something on Instagram or Twitter, probably never flash.
No, I did use a flash for that like a week ago. I'm trying to remember the exact
I
situation.
reported it.
I will say that a lot of the younger generation right now, that like 90s party flash camera look is becoming really popular again.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like, people like the look of less polished. Maybe it's just because like disposable cameras had a moment, and like that look had a moment. But also, I had a conversation. I overheard a conversation recently that it's like sometimes you just hear a normal conversation and you're like, that's the way people think about it.
Yeah.
And you know how when you have most night mode, if you're like in a dark enough situation, you hit night mode, you have to hold it still for like 3 seconds. I think they said something like, oh yeah, I'll turn the flash on because otherwise it takes too long. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly why people use the flash.
Yeah.
Because it takes 3 seconds to not have a flash.
I gotta tell you a story.
Okay.
I was outside. This is when I was in the Pacific Northwest a couple weeks ago, and I was outside by a lake in the evening, and there was this person who like also pulled up near us to do this like landscape thing, but they went to take a photo like of the stars. They're like, oh wow, the stars are so beautiful, and they turned their flash on and hit the shutter button.
Yeah,
And
so you could see the stars better.
no, that's what they said. They were like, "Oh, I got to turn the flash on," and I was like, "Oh, my sweet summer child, I don't think that light is going to illuminate the stars."
I've used the flash for like food photography. Like if you're trying to get like a close picture of like a plate.
It can be an aesthetic sometimes.
Yeah, having
be
the
an
flash is
aesthetic.
like
For sure.
a choice. But
Yeah.
that's it.
I feel like every time I've taken a picture of food with the flash, it turns it into like a lemony snicket. Get that nowhere near me.
If your plate is reflective enough, you'll have an orb glowing
and
back at you.
if you're in a dark
Like
room
Sam Altman.
or a darker room, like a restaurant, and you have the flash on, now all of a sudden your food is casting shadows on itself.
True. Yeah.
It's
And
terrifying.
It's a vibe.
If you're in a darker room like a restaurant, or my favorite is the people who don't realize the flash is on in a dark space, and they take it and you see them just like hide their camera immediately. Like, I wasn't me.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I have
Andrew.
another story.
Andrew,
Oh my God. See how long it takes?
Well,
though?
wait, the light just is on now.
That was a focus flash.
Oh, it had to focus
There's
first.
a focus
and then
flash and then the photo flash.
David
right
just
after.
flashed me for audio listeners.
and it took it like 3 seconds.
I'm not even in the photo. I've literally backed off from the flash at that point.
That's
Yeah,
rough.
sorry.
Anyway,
I didn't mean
all of this is to say, when I see the flash up in the corner of this OnePlus phone, I think personally, who cares? It's a flash. I'm never going to use it. But I also remember that there was a brief age where like we went from single LED flash to dual LED flash,
Yeah.
and then dual tone for 2 different temperatures of LED flash, so we could match the temperature of the flash to the color temperature of the room.
Yeah.
And there was this whole, then there was a moto phone with a ring light around the camera. Like
Yeah.
there was a 3-year period where we really seemed to care about flash.
Well,
for
the
some reason.
manufacturers did at least.
Yeah, they cared about flash.
think
And I
regular
think
people
it
care.
kind of like 3D TVs, we all just kind of went, never mind.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So I have a story.
Okay.
So this Oppo Find N that I've been using from around the office also has a flash on it, and it's a foldable.
Yeah.
Which is how this conversation started. Can we get back to foldables?
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait, I actually do have something. So, like, in these OnePlus renders, we were talking about it being squared off, and that looks very squared off.
Yeah, but is the flash big enough?
Yeah. Have you ever? I have a story about flashes.
Okay.
Flash is off. They put the Hasselblad logo where the flash should have been.
Yeah, they should have called it Hassle Flash.
Oh my God.
Wait, but in the Mi Mix 3 teaser,
Continue.
they're definitely doing the like kind of bezeled edges to make it feel thinner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's bezeled on both sides. Would it be weird to have it only bezeled on the outside portions of it and then flat on the middle? So then when it's folded, like you're holding a normal
Yeah.
phone, it's only like the exterior is bezeled and you don't feel the
I agree
the
with you.
the
Bevel
middle.
bevel it on the outsides because the
Yeah, bevel, sorry.
the inside. I've held that before. What phone was like that? That was like beveled on the inside and outside, and it just felt weird.
Right, because you feel that there's a split in the middle.
And
so,
when you're holding it like that, it's just
Yeah.
weird to have it curved on both sides.
but I get it because like the old OnePluses were beveled on the outsides and the phones felt so thin despite not actually being that much thinner. So if you have a thicker
Yeah.
phone, make it feel thinner, but then also don't make it feel like a huge crack down the middle.
Something they changed from the Oppo Find N1 to the Find N2 was that the Find N1 was rounded and beveled on both sides and then the Find N2 they flattened the sides. And the Find N2 feels a lot better in my opinion.
There's a Xiaomi that
Mix
I'm
of
forgetting the
both.
name of that had the right side thicker than the left side. Do you remember this? They made a foldable where one.
Oh, no. The foldable? It was
Yeah.
the outside fold, I think.
It
was like
It was
wedged.
a normal fold, but it was a wedge shape. So the entire thing open was a wedge shape, and when you folded it shut, it was a rectangle. And because you had more weight in the right hand, it would feel like the center of gravity was more in your hand. Because when you
yeah.
hold a foldable wide open, it's like
Yeah.
it's kind of big.
I remember what you're talking about now.
Yeah,
Wasn't
so-
the Huawei the first Huawei?
It might have,
one?
yeah, I think it was a Huawei.
Yeah, it was
a
the Mate
Huawei.
X.
You're
it was
right.
the first Mate X.
It was a Huawei phone.
Because it,
So,
it had that like hand grip on the right,
right.
side.
Whatever happened to that idea?
yeah,
No, no,
that's kind of cool.
That was the one that folded outside, and that's because it had the cameras on it, and it had to fold like
Yes.
into the cameras.
Yeah.
So I guess technically that weight was weighted differently,
It was
but it
a
wasn't
different Huawei phone,
wedged.
though.
There
It was
was
the
like a
Mate X.
wedge.
So if you look up Mate X2, see this?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
looks so weird.
Yeah.
It looks like you,
Yeah.
you like
A wedge-shaped
sharpened
phone.
it,
I
like you
remember
sharpened
that.
a stick at the campfire.
Yeah.
But it did have a really interesting, good feel in the hand. So there's a whole bunch of new folding ideas happening. They're kind of floating out there. We're trying to figure out what works in folding phones, what people actually buy. The thing is, they're all still so expensive. It's not like we're getting like a $700 folding phone, unless maybe the Razer comes out and it's $700 because the Razer Plus is still $1,000.
Oh, right. There's the
But-
cheaper one coming out.
Yeah, but as of
Eventually.
right now, it's still in early adopter phase. But we have just way more options to early adopt.
It's
than
hot
actually
foldable
vote.
summer, my guys.
Yeah, got to vote with our wallets.
Can I end this on a question?
Sure.
Do you think we'll have a foldable category in the smartphone awards this year?
I think we should.
It's if there's ever a year to do it. I mean, obviously every year is going to have more and more,
We
but
got
this
the
feels like
Pixel, the
legitimately a
OnePlus.
dozen choices.
Yeah.
I am willing to commit to that.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
On this
Heard it here
podcast.
first.
Just like every year, we've gotten closer and closer. And I think this past year, the best compact phone category, I had a moment where I was like, I think I have to pick a non-folding phone because when I open the folding phone, it's not as compact as the Zen phone.
Yeah.
But it is technically more compact.
Yeah.
And these folding phones kind of deserve their own recognition. And I feel like this year, there's just so many ideas
Yeah.
worthy of being recognized that we should have for the first time, a new category in the Smartphone Awards, probably since its inception. I think we've only added one category ever. So, yeah, folding phone is getting an award. That's another trophy.
It's another trophy.
It's coming
It
out of
is.
somebody's paycheck.
Andrew.
I did not suggest this.
It's a $200 trophy. No, yeah, I think we should do that. And I'm not going to give any teasers, but I've been daily driving. Well, you guys already know. I've been daily driving
Yeah, I
the
think
Pixel
they
Fold
know.
for a while. It's my favorite foldable to come out this year, but there's still more coming.
You heard it. The winner already.
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe the OnePlus will be good.
Maybe. When you guys see the video, you can comment, I knew about this because I watched the podcast 6 months ago. In December, you'll be like, I found out in August what the
It's
winner would
rigged.
be.
I watched the
Legitimately,
podcast.
if you comment that in December, that
And
I'll
also
pin it.
comment
It'd be
microfiber, then
I'll pin it. I'll pin
we'll
it.
pin it.
I'll at least heart it. We should ask people to like/subscribe in a unique way at the end of a clip.
kind of want to just do the clip that's that. It's like, you guys ready for clips outro? Yeah, what are we going to do? We need to tell them to like and subscribe in a unique way.
Okay. That's the clip's outro.
That was it.
Did we do it already?
Yeah.
Okay.
See how easy that
unique way.
was?
Full effort.
Oh, you
just
know-
for you, Clips channel.
You know what I also want to say? Recently, I've been looking up a lot of best podcast lists. In a lot of the best tech podcast lists, we're not on there. That's exactly how I feel. Put us on there. But we were on Wired's best tech podcast
Yeah.
list that I looked at
I
yesterday.
love Wired. I've always liked Wired.
I always knew those guys were good.